to bring up the next comedian. Very funny, Andrew Rudick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, what do you guys think of me? You guys, I do comedy to pay the bills, but serving tables has always been my real passion. I work in a Mexican restaurant, and I ruined a family's graduation dinner at work the other night. This is how I did it. I went up to the table and I said, "Hi, folks. My name's Andrew. I'll be helping you out tonight." And the dad was like, "Hi, Andrew. Our daughter graduated from NKU today with an English degree." And I was like, "Oh, my goodness. That is fantastic. You know, I actually happen to have a master's degree in English literature." Can I get you folks started with some chips and salsa? How about an application for the young lady? They were visibly upset, and they asked to speak with a manager, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we only do open interviews on Tuesdays from 2 to 4. Sorry, you have to come back." But they insisted. I was like, "You know what, this is actually perfect because my manager happens to have a PhD in interpersonal communications. So I'm gonna send Doc Guac over, and he's gonna sort out this whole mix-up table sides." My ex-girlfriend had to take an interpersonal communications class. Her professor was Dr. Guacamole. And she was very introverted and shy, so I was like, "Oh, that sucks that you have to take an interpersonal communications class." And she said, "Oh, it's fine, because the class is offered online, and we never once have to meet in person." What the fuck? It's like a geisha teaching a class on abstinence. Or like me teaching a class on sex. I'd be like, "I've had it a couple times, and it was sticky and fun. Class dismissed." Required reading includes A Tale of Two Titties by Charles Putnat Dickens. I'm single now, getting back out there, and was having sex with somebody. And the next morning, she was like, "Oh my God, your thumbs are so small." I was like, "Oh my God, thank you. That's what every guy wants to hear after sex. About as tiny as little bitty baby thumbs are." So I snapped, not literally because I couldn't physically do that, but I lost my shit and lost it. I stormed out and I went to hail a cab, but they all kept driving by because they couldn't see my tiny little baby thumb. So the next night, I'm back with that lady and we're doing the thing, and it's getting hot and heavy. And she whispers something sexy into my ear. She goes, "Are you just gonna sit there twiddling those little thumbs together? Or are you gonna shove one of them into my butthole?" And I was like, "God damn it, it's been in there the whole time. The entire time." But now, you know, I just don't get involved with anybody who's into butt play, just as a general rule of thumb. And my ex-girlfriend gives that joke 2 thumbs down. Come on. Josh Norman is a defensive back for the Washington Redskins. Huge thumbs. And a few years ago, he intercepted a pass, ran over the sidelines, and did this little number. 15-yard penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, using a bow and arrow. That is the dictionary definition of sportsmanlike conduct. It's a guy on horseback shooting a bow and arrow. But they said you can't do this because it insinuates a violent motion. It's like shooting a gun. Yeah. It's exactly like shooting a gun. Because there are a lot of drive-by bowings in my neighborhoods. A lot of bow and runs on the block that I grew up on. Also, may I remind you fine folks that Josh Norman plays for the Washington Redskins. If anybody's allowed to shoot a bow and arrow, it should be the guy that plays for the team with the most racist name in the NFL. If he had ran over the sidelines wearing a feathered headdress and scalped his wife, he would have gotten a contract extension. Hey, thank you guys so much. You've been wonderful.